Một đêm trong căn phòng khách sạn. Xin mời quý khán thính giả chúng ta cùng nghe tiếng Anh và phần lời dịch tiếng Việt. There are many old houses, pubs, and hotels in Britain which people say have ghosts. A British newspaper, the Sunday Times, sent one of its journalists, Stephen Bleach, to investigate Gosford Hall Hotel, a small hotel in Cumbria in the north of England. People say that the hotel has the ghost The ghost always appears in room 11. Stephen's job was to spend a night alone in room 11. He couldn't phone or speak to anybody. Before he went to the hotel, Stephen said, "I feel a bit nervous, but I don't believe in ghosts." I arrived at Gosforth Hall late in the evening. It was a very dark night. But I could see there was a church with a cemetery next to the hotel. I checked in, and the receptionist gave me the key and showed me to my room. I left my things in the room and came downstairs. There weren't many guests. There were only 3, including me. I sat in the sitting room and I talked to the manager, Sarah Daniels, about her hotel. I had a drink, and then at 12 I went upstairs to my room. Room 11 was on the top floor. I opened the door and turned on the light. It was a very big room, quite old, and yes, it was a bit spooky. There was an old television on the table, but there wasn't a remote control. I turned on the TV. There was a film on. I was happy to see that it wasn't a horror film. I decided to watch the film and have the light on all night. But I was tired after my long journey, and after half an hour, I went to sleep. In the middle of the night, I suddenly woke up. It was 2 o'clock. The television was off, but how? There was no remote control. And I certainly didn't get up and turn it off. The light was still on. But suddenly, the light went off too. Now I was really frightened. I couldn't see anything strange. I got out of bed and turned on the TV again. Little by little, I started to relax. And I went to sleep again. When I woke up, it was morning. I had breakfast and I left the hotel about 10. In fact, I didn't see the ghost. But I definitely felt something or somebody in the room when I woke up in the night. I was very frightened. I definitely would like to spend another night in the room. And I'm sure there was something strange in that room. I can't explain the television and the light. I want to go back because I want to see the ghost. Bí mật của một gia đình. Secret of a family.
Jeremy? 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 Oh no.
The true story of the murder of a rich businessman on the 22nd of June in 1938 was Jeremy Travel's 16th birthday. He had dinner at his country house with his wife Amanda, his daughter Barbara, his business partner Gordon Smith, and his secretary Claudia Simwan. Next morning, when Amanda Travels went to her husband's bedroom, she found him in bed, and dead. Inspector Granger arrived at about 9. He was a tall man with a big black mustache. Amanda, Barbara, Claudia, and Gordon were in the living room. The inspector came in. Mr. Travers died between midnight last night and 7 o'clock this morning, he said. Somebody in this room killed him. He looked at them one by one, but nobody spoke. Mrs. Travers, I want to talk to you first. Come into the library with me, please. Amanda Travers followed the inspector into the library, and they sat down. What did your husband do after dinner last night? When we finished dinner, Jeremy said he was tired and he went to bed. Did you go to bed then? No, I didn't. I went for a walk in the garden. What time did you go to bed? About 11:45. Was your husband asleep? I don't know, Inspector. We slept in separate rooms. Did you hear anything when you were in the room? Yes, I heard. Jeremy's bedroom door. It opened. I thought it was Jeremy. Then it closed again. I read in bed for half an hour, and then I went to sleep. What time did you get up this morning? I got up at about 7:15. I had breakfast, and at 8, I took my husband a cup of tea. I found him in bed. He was dead. Tell me, Mrs. Travers, did you love your husband? Jeremy was a difficult man. But did you love him, Mrs. Travers? No, Inspector. I hated him. Then the inspector questioned Barbara Travers. What did you do after dinner yesterday evening? After dinner, I played cards with Gordon, and then I went to bed. What time was that? It was about 11:30. I remember I looked at my watch. Did you hear anything in your father's room? No, I didn't hear anything. Did you have any problems with your father? Oh, no problems at all. My father was a wonderful man and a perfect father. Thank you, Miss Travels. Next, the inspector questioned Gordon Smith. What did you do after dinner, Gordon? I played cards with Barbara. Then she went to bed. Did you go to bed then? No. No, I stayed in the sitting room and I had a glass of whiskey. Then I went to bed. What time was that? I don't remember exactly. I didn't look at the time. Did you hear anything during the night? No, I didn't. I was very tired. I slept very well. You and Mr. Travels were business partners, weren't you? Yes, that's right. And it's a very good business, I understand. Yes, Inspector, it is. And now it is your business. Listen, Inspector, I didn't kill Jeremy. He was my partner and he was my friend. Finally, the inspector questioned Gloria Simwan. What did you do yesterday evening after dinner? I went to my room and I had a bath and I went to bed. What time was that? About 11. Did you hear anything? Yes, I heard somebody go into Jeremy's room. It was about 12. Who was it? It was Amanda, his wife. Are you sure? Did you see her? Well, no, I didn't see her, but I'm sure it was Amanda. You were Mr. Travel's secretary, Claudia? Yes, I was. Were you just his secretary? What do you mean? Were you in love with Mr. Travels? No, I wasn't. The truth pleased Claudia. Very well, Inspector. Yes, I was in love with him. And he said he was in love with me. He said he wanted to leave his wife Amanda and marry me. I was stupid. He used me, Inspector. I was very angry with him. Did you kill him? No, Inspector. I loved Jeremy. Before dinner, Gordon had a drink with Jeremy in the library. Cheers, Jeremy. Happy birthday. Oh, thanks, Gordon. Listen, Jeremy, I want to talk to you about Barbara. Barbara? What's the problem? It's not exactly a problem. I'm in love with her. And I want to marry her. Marry Barbara? Marry my daughter? Are you crazy? Never. You don't love Barbara. You only want her money. That's not true, Jeremy. I love her. Listen to me. If you marry Barbara, when I die, all my money goes to Claudia. To Claudia? To your secretary? Yes. Is that your last word, Jeremy? Yes, it is. Dinner, everybody! At midnight, Gordon finished his whiskey and went upstairs.
Who is it? Gordon? Oh! Oh!
And Gordon came into Jeremy's room and killed him. Mua vé online, tickets online. Last April, two British teenagers wanted to go to Australia for their summer holiday. But it was a 24-hour journey by plane, and tickets were very expensive. So, Jamie and Emma, aged 19, looked for cheap tickets on the internet. They were lucky, and they booked 2 tickets to Sydney. On the 4th of August, they arrived at Heathrow Airport. They checked in and waited for the plane to leave. Six hours later, they landed at a big airport and changed planes. I was a bit worried because the second plane was very small. But I didn't want to say anything to Jamie. After only an hour, the plane landed. We looked out of the window. It was a very small airport. We walked to the information desk. And I showed our tickets to the woman. When is our next flight? She looked at our tickets. The next flight? This is the end of your journey. Where did you want to go? Where are we? Do you think they were in Sydney? You're in Sydney. We are in Australia. Australia? No, you're in Canada. Canada,